That's like everyone's first thing growing up. I feel like you get a mitt and you know go outside with people. This man.
Yeah.
And then I remember like for me, as soon as it went from coach pitch to kid pitch, I was like, fuck this shit, man. I'm out of here. I'm not getting hit by these damn balls, bro. Like it scared the shit out of me. These kids were whipping them, man.
I used to pitch when I played. Baseball was probably like the first sport that I picked up. And I used to pitch and like
did you hit anyone?
I never hit anybody, but like I always got questioned about my age because I was so much taller than everybody.
Yeah.
So, but no, I never hit anybody though.
Yeah, that used to scare me, bro. People were wild. And like then it got to the point where every time I got up, I was more worried about getting hit than I was, trying to hit the ball. So I was like, this is not for me. I'm gonna bow out. Fuck that. Oh man.
I don't know, you're giving me Major Valley vibes right now.
Bro, these Suns are giving me Major Valley vibes right now. Did you just see that game?
I did. I was watching it.
I mean, like, were we right or were we right? Like, Book was just waiting for, like, his first playoffs to, like, oh, my God, man.
He arriving, bro. Like, he seriously is just putting people on notice. And, I mean, we talked about it before where it's just good to see, like, the young players stepping up to the plate and putting people on notice, you know what I mean? And it's just good to kind of see that change in guard of this next generation of players that are coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like the game was it was a hell of a game.
Yeah, it was back and forth, man.
Yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be a long series. It just depends on like when CP get back and then if Kawhi ever come back.
Yeah, do you know what's up with CP3? Like how he got vaccinated, right? So I don't understand like why he's in protocol. I don't know what that
means. I have no idea what the NBA has going on with their whole protocol thing. Because remember the whole shit with Brian, right?
Yeah.
When he had that whole thing where he went to some party at Drake's house or it was at his house and it was a private thing or whatever. And he didn't have to sit out.
Yeah.
But they making Chris Paul. So I don't know, dog. Like it's really confusing.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't really know what's going on. Hopefully they can get him back, though. I don't know if they're going to be able to, especially if Kawhi comes back, they're going to need him because.
Because I think they'll probably at some point switch it to where Kawhi will be on Book.
Mm-hmm. You're going to have to.
And that's going to be a completely different thing.
It will. I was an impressive win just now, man. I think without Chris Paul and even without the Clippers with Kawhi, I would have gave Clippers like the edge as far as like I think they're a better team right now. Just they've got more playoff experience. Like, these Suns have never even been in this situation. So it's that was a hell of a win. Holy crap.
It was. And Book, what, a 40-point triple-double?
Yeah, man. It's crazy. I never seen him pass like that.
Putting in work. I mean, he had to. It was probably one of those games where, like, he had to just kind of take over that playmaking.
He did, yeah.
Cameron Payne wasn't really having a game like that. And I think I think he came in there with a personal thing. Like, I'm not about to let Paul George kind of show me up in my arena. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because we know they kind of had some tips back and forth a little bit during the season where I think Book was over there calling PG soft or calling him weak and stuff like that. And Paul George was like, you better watch your mouth. Like, watch who you talking to. You know what I mean? So I definitely think he just kind of had to show that up and let him know, like, you in my house, dog. Like, this ain't that old school.
For sure. And on the flip side of that, like usually I'm a critic of Paul George, but man, he's had a good postseason, man. I haven't seen him play this good in the postseason since like Indiana.
Balling, dog.
Yeah.
And then again, where the fuck was this Reggie Jackson at when he was in Detroit, dog?
Dude.
Like who is this Reggie Jackson, dog? This a doppelganger because this ain't the Reggie Jackson that us in Detroit know. We don't know this Reggie.
He looks again kind of like the same with Paul George. He looks like the Reggie Jackson that last year he was on the Thunder when he was just giving buckets to people and everyone was like
and then tell me every three that he shoot, it looked like it's going in, bro.
Yeah.
Like who is this Reggie Jackson? Because I don't know who this Reggie Jackson is.
I don't either, bro.
He's him and Bobby Schmurder changed out. Him and Bobby Schmurder must have changed out bodies or something because I don't understand how how is he doing this?
I don't know, bro. But he's playing great. Luke Kennard's hitting threes too, man. Shout out to the whole Pistons players out here.
Right, the whole Pistons squad is just going crazy.
Maybe just like they're just so depressed when you're in Detroit and there's no chance of doing anything. You're just like, why do I have to put an effort? They're probably reduced now. They're on a good team. Shit.
It's insane, bro. Yeah, the games. I mean, these games like that. That game 7 yesterday.
Yeah, we got to analyze that series, man. I mean, that's got to be so far. That's the series of the postseason. I mean, that was great.
It was a crazy series. And what sucks about it is because it's going to be completely remembered for the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, that's really what it's going to come down to. You think about it. Had Kyrie or James not got injured, I find it hard that the Nets would have even gotten a 6 with the.
No, I agree with you completely. Like, I don't want to take anything away from Milwaukee. Like, it's just reality of what happened. But I mean, like, Harden wasn't even really a shell of himself for most of that,
And
series.
the game was the game was close.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, but I think if we're not gonna start acknowledging that Kevin Durant's the best player in the world, man, like the dude is just holy crap. That game last night, I'm rooting against him, but like you're just like every possession that fourth quarter, he's just killing him, man. Just anywhere on the floor, he can make any shot on the court. It's crazy, man. How do you guard him?
Right. And I know a lot of people are talking about that last shot that he took in OT, but like he had played 50 fucking 3 minutes, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like he gassed and he just played another 50 something minutes in the other, or like 40 something minutes, and he didn't come out the game in game 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so
bro.
what do you want him to do?
I totally agree. This is why I think it's ridiculous. And I think like Skip Bayless is to blame for this. The way we analyze these players, and like, oh, they're not clutch because he airballed the, like, it's like, bro, like, how the fuck do you look at Kevin Durant and think like he choked on that or like wasn't clutch or came up short? Like,
right.
Like you just said, he was just exhausted, man. Like he played the whole game. It's ridiculous. Like we got to stop this narrative. Like, oh, they missed one shot. Like they're not built for this stupid shit like that. Like, it's like, come on, bro. Like that was a magical performance. Like that whole series was amazing.
Yeah, it was a dog ass series. Like just the back and forth, the matchups and everything. Like it was a really good series. You just know the Nets at full strength, they would have blown through them.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you.
Like even at not even full strength, even at just having either Kyrie or Harden healthy,
yeah,
and it wouldn't have went to 6.
I totally agree, man. And it was such a weird paradigm shift. Like they were destroying them the first 2 games, and I was like, it's already over. This is ridiculous. And then like the Bucks like took it on the chin and kept coming, man. Like I have a lot of respect for Giannis after that series, bro. Him and Chris Middleton, like they just played phenomenal, both of them.
Can we talk about how the crowd was over there counting him at the free throw line every single time?
Oh man, yeah. Holy shit. James Harden was getting pissed too, bro.
Like I don't blame him though. The ref was literally let him get all these little fake free throw shots in, and James like, bro, give him the ball.
Seriously.
You let him get all this extra time.
I agree. And you know what? I don't understand what these people that are horrible at free throws, it's always a pattern. That's one of them usually is they take so long to either shoot it or just whether it's the routine or just like them actually like rising up like before they shoot it. And it's like, have you ever seen a good free throw shooter do that, bro? They're just quick. They just do it. That's what you can't think about it. You got to just shoot it. You have to have muscle memory and just, you know what I mean? Just put it up there.
Most guys, you get anywhere from like 1 to 3 dribbles, and then they letting it go. Right? Yeah. They just getting those 3 dribbles in to get their rhythm, and they letting it go.
That's what I'm saying.
Giannis gotta get a couple air shots in. He gotta breathe deep. He gotta dribble the ball six damn times. Like, bro, what are you doing?
That's ridiculous.
Literally every single time that the crowd was counting, they were getting a 12 before he was letting the ball go.
Yeah, man, that's ridiculous. I don't know why they're not calling him on it. And again, I think it would serve him better if he stopped doing that shit. Just fucking stop thinking about it and just put it up there.
Let it ride. Yeah.
It's not like it can get worse than how you shoot it right now. Like you shoot it horribly. So you got to switch something up, man. That's nuts to me. I don't know why, but it is funny. Like watching James and them, just like, dude.
He was so pissed, and I don't blame. Like he like give him the ball.
Yeah.
Like think about he's sitting there taking all these fake air shots. How much time extra time that he gets?
Yeah.
Like, and James is like, we don't get that. Guys that shoot the ball really well from the free throw, they don't get all that. So why are you giving that to him?
Yeah, exactly, bro. It's crazy. I don't get that either. Man, Chris Middleton played really good too, bro. The dude
he was balling
great shots.
I mean, no, he didn't play. He made some clutch shots. Drew Holiday definitely made some clutch shots in that fourth quarter.
Yeah,
he was pretty clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the saddest moment in that whole entire series was when James got that steal and he couldn't even go on a fast break, bro.
Yeah.
Tell me that wasn't the saddest part of that. Like, that's when you know, like, damn, he really, really hurt. If he ain't gonna even go for a fast break, like he can't even go for a fast break layup.
Yeah, man. That is crazy. You're so right. He just looked like a shell of himself, bro. Like he had a couple. And to be honest with you, though, even down the stretch of that game last night, I thought the Nets had it. After he banked in that 3 to put him up 5 with like 2 minutes, I was like, that's got to be the shot in the heart right there. Like, that was crazy. And then
it was tough. They couldn't get the stop that they needed.
No, definitely not. It's a weird thing with Giannis because, like, if you let him get to the rim, he's gonna punish you. I think when you get in that situation, I'd just be fouling him, just like make him go to the line because I don't know what else to do with him. You know? But like you said, Drew Holiday stepped up. Chris Middleton hit some big shots, and then both teams looked so gassed in that overtime. It was just like who wanted it more at the very end because that was.
I mean, it was like 6-2.
Yeah, right.
Like that's how you know they were gassed.
Yeah, that was just a hell of a series, man. And like, I know I said it was the finals before, but like now it's like I still don't know. I don't. My jury's still out on the Bucks. I think they impressed me a lot, but I don't know if I see them maybe beating Philly. So that'll be an interesting series. If Philly makes it, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know because.
I mean, hats off to Trae Young too, bro.
Dog,
like another young, like, who is this guy, man? This is crazy. They have no business being there.
So Kendrick Perkins brought this up. He was like, you know, what Trae is doing, had it been Luka Doncic, people would have been going crazy over this, right? Like just giving him so much praise and everything. And he was like, and the fact that it's Trae Young, he don't get the same type of praise. Everybody wants to, you know, because he's kind of taking on that villain type of like mentality or whatever. And people are not giving him his due respect, but like Trae's been putting like this new guard of these players coming in. And the crazy thing, and it's been the guards where they have just been coming in and just dominating.
Yep, for sure. And you know what's nuts is like I think up until this postseason, everyone would have said it was a steal that, you know, the Mavs got to take Luka off that trade, you know, and the Hawks took Trae. But wow, like this season specifically, Trae has really just stepped it up. He's had flashes before, but like holy crap, like he's found it.
And I think that matchup with him and Nate McMillan. Like I think whatever they've done with the offense really suits him a lot better.
Yeah, I agree, man. He's just a phenomenal offensive player, man. The scoring's there, but he sees the court really well. He's a good passer.
Yeah.
Man.
And then that dunk that John Collins had on Joel Embiid.
Yeah, that was wild, bro.
Hit.
I don't like yeah, man. Embiid, I think this game might be the most important game of Joel Embiid's career right here. Like, I want to see him come out and give us like 40 and like 15. Like, he needs to come out and like dominate. This is like the moment, bro. This is game 7 in your house. Like, you can't let this Hawks team do this to you. Like, no, I know Ben Simmons isn't playing that good, but shit.
You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And Ben Simmons, you know what's so frustrating about Ben Simmons? And you mentioned this before. He doesn't even try to shoot a jump shot.
No. How can anyone
at least make them respect you?
Yeah.
But at least make them respect you. Like, look, bro. Like at some point, I'm gonna hit thee. Like we're not asking. You don't have to shoot a 3. Don't shoot a 3. We don't need you to shoot a 3. But at least make them respect you from a mid range.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I saw the funniest meme. It was like, if you ever feel useless, just remember that like Ben Simmons wears a shooting sleeve, and it showed him like with his arm up, and he had like the shooting sleeve on. I was like, yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Why does he have that?
What is this for?
Yeah.
Shooters that were like, bro, you don't even shoot the ball. You making layups and dunks. Stop it.
He's got to figure it out, man. This is exactly what I was talking about before. I know it kind of sounded disrespectful. I think he's one of the best all-around defenders in the league, and he's a great passer, great athlete. But bro, like, take that next step, man. Like this is where they need you. Like
I mean, you going into what? Ben's in year 4?
It's at least 4. Yeah.
And it's like, come on, bro. Like at some point, you got to develop this.
Yeah, exactly. Giannis is doing it. And I'm not, he's doing it. He's taking them.
He's respectable, right? Yeah. He's respectable. You may not be up on him, but at least you're going to go and challenge the shot and everything because he'll make some.
Yeah.
Ben don't even give you that.
No, exactly, bro. He's just like a one-trick pony. They got to figure it out, man. I don't.
Maybe you were onto something when you said he he a little overhyped. Maybe you was early on. You was early on that. You mentioned that earlier. You questioned like, is he just overhyped?
That's what I'm
It may be
saying.
that.
Yeah, but it just seems with him though. It's like that's just a matter of will. Like you're saying, you're not even attempting them, bro. If you were just missing them, I'd actually be okay with that. But it's like you need to like give us
Right.
something, bro. Like
Yeah.
that's the only reason I said that I think he's a bust is just because of the expectations. Like again, people were like he's the next LeBron. Like that's what everyone was
Yeah.
saying. And it's like, bro, like he's got to like shoot the ball. Like, it doesn't have to
At
be
least,
well. At least the mid range, like you just said, like just like something,
bro,
man.
give us something.
Yeah, I don't know,
So
man.
hopefully he works on that over the summer or during the Olympics with the Australian team. He has to figure it out because that's like this it's out. Like the story is out. Like, Ben, we know you're not gonna shoot the ball, so we don't have to guard you in any mid range. We
Exactly.
just gotta guard you in the paint.
Yep.
And it's not like he Giannis, you know what I mean, getting to the paint where he gonna do that. He's not doing that. So
Mm-mm. No. Yeah,
it's
it's
sad.
an interesting one, but it's this gonna be a really good game because of that. I think like him and Tobias are the X factors for that team. If they can both play well, and Joey, obviously Joel's probably gonna play well. Like they'll win, but I can't believe it's even went this far. I thought they'd win in like 5 or 6.
You and I both. You and I both.
So
You and I both. And then, I mean, so I feel like outside the playoffs, we got to talk about LaMelo got Rookie of the Year.
yeah, shout out, good for him, bro. I think it was well deserved.
You think so? I mean, I feel like he was gonna win. I think Edwards. I mean, Edwards definitely came on late, at the end of the season, but I think Melo just throughout the whole entire.
Yeah,
What's the name? Had he not got injured, I think it would have been like a runaway type of thing. But Edwards came on really, really strong at the end of the season. Like he looks really nice, bro.
he does, and he showed me like offensive arsenal that I didn't think he had. I kind of thought he was just an athlete there for a little while, and he's catching bodies on those dunks and stuff like that. But like
and his vision is just insane, bro.
Yeah,
like the vision that he has at his age, like it's insane.
You don't coach that. That's just you got it, And it's is he considered a 2 or a 3? Isn't he a 3?
No, he a point guard.
He's a point guard.
They got him at a point guard.
He's playing on the wing. Interesting. Okay.
No, he got him at a point guard, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, he does have the vision for it. That's what I was about to say. He's kind of like a point like wing to me, but I didn't even realize he was taking the ball up. But he played really good there towards the end. He's kind of getting the shot going too. Like it'll be interesting to see him continue to develop and grow, man.
Yeah. And then shout out to Sadiq Bey from the Pistons making first team all rookie.
Yeah. That was kind of out of nowhere. I didn't even hear that guy, to be honest with you. And then
Sadiq, he's nice. I mean, he averaged about like 13 a game, so he definitely came on. Like once Blake kind of came out and kind of left and everything, he was definitely coming on. So he did really well. So it'll be. I figured that he was gonna win. I think one of the things we got to talk about is the all defensive team.
Yeah.
Or no, the all NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think we kind of chatted about this back and forth a little bit. But there were some surprises there for me.
Definitely. Do you are you on the under the impression, because I see it all over social media, that like Russ got like robbed?
So it's like, okay, if Russ got robbed, who does he replace? Like there is like one player for sure that I don't believe should have been on there, and that's Jimmy Butler.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't argue with you there.
I don't
He did not have a good year. Neither did the team. They just all underperformed, But.
Yeah. So I definitely don't think that Jimmy Butler should have been on there. I really felt like Donovan Mitchell or Tatum should have been in that spot.
Yeah. Was Book, did he make the third team or did he not make one?
Book didn't make the team either.
Yeah, I think he should have made one.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but who do you put him over Bradley Beal? Do you put him over Kyrie?
See, that's what the Bradley Beal thing's weird, right? Because he like started off so strong. Like he started off as like a first team All NBA for like that first half of the season, and then he kind of withered a little bit. So like I think his placement's all right. It was more that who was on that first team, because there's someone on that first team I was looking at, and I was like,
it was Giannis, Steph, Luka, Jokic, and Kawhi that was on first team.
See, I don't even know if I'd put Kawhi on there, man. That's a little not to be disrespectful to Kawhi. I think that's, I don't know. That was a little much, especially because he was injured in and out. Like I don't know. Since
I mean, he played like 60. So I think he played like 60 something games this year.
did he really? He played 60 out of 72. Why do I feel like he was
If
injured
I'm
from
not
the?
mistaken.
Wow,
If
that's
I'm
like
not mistaken,
really impressive for Kawhi.
I'm pretty sure Kawhi played like 60 something games this
All
year.
right, man. Hats off to Kawhi. Yeah, I
Let
don't
me
know. Maybe he
double
just
check.
flew under the radar to me. Yeah, I feel like Donovan or Tatum for sure should have been on there. They both just had really, emerging years. The Russ thing just bothers me, bro. And like today is a perfect example of it. Watching what Devin
No,
Booker
I'm
just
sorry.
did.
Kawhi played 52 games. So
Okay.
my bad.
Yeah, that's still pretty good for him, man.
No,
That's
that's not bad.
yeah.
Only missing 20 games. My thing is, I'm sorry. I don't think Luka should have been on first team. I feel like Dame should have.
Yeah, Dame played great, man. Dame played really well.
Like
I can see that
you think
argument.
about everything that Dame was missing for the whole entire, for a lot of that part of the season, and what he was able to do with that team. Like I feel like Dame should have made first team over Luka.
He was second team, right?
Yeah, he was second team. I'm
Yep.
not gonna even lie. I don't know how I feel about Bron making second team.
Yeah, that's just like a formality for LeBron, man. Like he's gonna make one. I
Like,
don't.
but I'm not sure if like I could have done without LeBron maybe being
I
on the second team, to
yeah,
be
I agree with
honest.
you, man.
Like he just wasn't. It wasn't like he had a solid year, but it wasn't like any. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I feel like there's again Donovan Mitchell. I felt like Donovan Mitchell or Book definitely could have been on like a second team.
For sure. You know what, man? Like today is a perfect example to me of like why I can't stand that Russ argument. Because like again, like everyone's just saying like, what did he average? Like he's the only player to average like 12 rebounds, 12 assists, and people are like the fact that he
Yeah,
didn't
he
make
averaged.
one's a robbery. It's like look what Book just did on his first ever grand scale Western Conference Finals. Like this is my point, man. Like I get the regular season awards, but it's like I'm so like, and I think that it's like voter fatigue with the voters too. Like no one cares that Russ does this in the regular season anymore, bro. Like we want to see it like converted into playoff success and deep runs. That then
Well, I think with Russ, even with the triple doubles, it's like they weren't winning.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
it'd be different if y'all were doing this and y'all were winning games, but they weren't winning. Now, granted, they had a lot with safety protocols and people were being in and out with COVID situations, but like y'all weren't, even with him doing this, you weren't winning anything.
Correct. Yeah. I
So the fact like if both him and Bradley Beal would have been on that, like I think it'd have been some issues.
I agree, and I think Beal deserved it more than Russ. Beal had like a
Yeah,
really big breakout year this year. He played great. So
yeah. So yeah. So quick, I wanted to touch on something baseball related.
okay,
Real quick. I know this is our first time ever talking about baseball, but I think we got to talk about it.
all right, let's hear it.
So I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Cole from the Yankees, but he got asked about using some type of foreign substance during his pitching,
Mm-hmm.
and he really didn't answer the question. He kind of just kind of went around it a little bit and was kind of stuck for a second, like because he didn't know how to answer because he didn't. I don't think he wanted to lie, but he didn't want to kind of tattle on himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started to come out like it's evident. Players find some type of like substance that is quote unquote legal for them to use, like it's passable for them to use, so that way they can get an advantage when it comes to getting the grip that they need on the ball, right?
Mm.
You need something sticky so you can really get the grip that you want. So you'll have players using like sunscreen or whatever it is, just so that way they can get that stickiness or whatever on a ball. And it's been known for years. And I think the reason why they're kind of bringing this up is because batting averages right now are trash.
Oh,
Like
really?
overall, like this is probably been one of the lowest batting averages for the league in years. And then strikeouts are at all-time high. I think this is the most like no hitters that the MLB has ever had through like a certain point of the season, and like they're just worried about like this how dominant these pitchers have been, that they're worried that it's going to drive fans away.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because guys they're not hitting the homers and everything. They're not they're not getting runs and stuff like that. So they're worried about that. And I think that's part of the reason why they're kind of trying to focus in on this like one particular thing when guys have been doing it for years.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, like I could understand especially why the league would try to get rid of it at this point if like that's all true, like you're saying, like batting's at a really low average and they're not hitting homers and stuff like that. I like seeing good pitchers, but I can see strikeouts are kind of not as entertaining as seeing someone smack a
Right.
two-run homer. So it's like,
Right.
wow.
But
I
then
wonder what it is that they're using, because I've seen like pitchers get like escorted out midway through games because they'll have like tar and stuff in the back of their neck, and they'll kind of
Yeah,
use that. So,
I forget who that was. that got caught with that.
Yeah,
but it's
crazy.
It's what, and I was talking to one of my friends that really follows baseball and played it in college and stuff like that, and he was talking about how he was like, I don't know if it's necessarily that these pitchers are so dominant or the fact that these hitters they're seeking home runs, right? They're not seeking to just get a good contact on the ball and maybe get like get a first base a second just to get on base. They're seeking home runs at the bat or whatever, right?
So you're saying like you think like they're passing up on pitches that they could probably hit, but they're like, no, that's not right where I want it in my sweet spot as far as like I can't knock that out of the park. So they're just letting it go.
That like when they're swinging, they're not swinging to try to make contact. They're swinging to blast the ball out the park or whatever, right? So like, they're being super aggressive. That's why the strikeouts are so high, because they're swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Point. And if I assume, I haven't played baseball in forever, but if you're loading up for home runs, you're trying to put that like home run angle on it. So if you're not getting it there, you're just flying out. So it's, you know what I mean?
Right. It'll be interesting to see what the fallout is with all of it. And if they try to like add, if they try to add certain things onto that list of like banned substances that you can't use. And everything, but like I said, it's been something that's been going on for years with these pitchers where like they'll find a way.
Yeah.
They'll definitely try to find a way to, get an advantage if they can.
Yeah, that's really interesting, man. It's so crazy how it's evolved from like, I mean, I was really young. You probably remember, but in like the early 2000s, like 2002, 2003, when it was like the steroid era and like Bonds was hitting like 70 a season and stuff like that.
Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, man.
Mark McGwire. Like they were blasting balls, bro.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. That probably was the most fun. I would assume. I wasn't really watching it then, but that was probably such an entertaining time to watch baseball because it was just
and that's why I think they gotta get caught up in, because it's like it's when you can have those home run battles or whatever, right? And guys are breaking records. It's super exciting. You know what I mean? And then when you're not having that same type of excitement where guys are tuning in to see like is Barry Bonds gonna blast another one into McCovey Cove or whatever, right? Like he's gonna blast one over the whole entire park. And you're not getting that now.
Yeah, it's crazy. That is, and I wonder how it's affecting viewership. Like, I wonder if that's any different this season. I don't really watch baseball like I used to, but like it's, I'm sure, like I just said, like people probably would rather see a lot of, big hits than they would, see a pitcher have a perfect game. I mean, I think that's really cool. I like seeing elite pitchers work, but I'm sure tickets are sold through, the big hits. So
I'm sure. I mean, the most exciting thing in baseball is a home run, right? Sure. And the most exciting play is when you can get like a grand slam. That's the most exciting thing I think that can happen as far as like a single play, right? And so I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see what the fallout is and what happens as it kind of progress towards
man. It's interesting. Like it's so funny how like just that all these sports have to deal with that. Just as time goes on, like new things come out, they have to change the rules for either the way players play or, I don't know. It's just like there's always an evolution. And it's really interesting to see. But because I wonder if there was a time when like those like all those substances like tar and stuff like that were legal for them to use. Like I wonder like if like, because like back in the day, baseball was kind of like boxing in the sense that like there was some shady shit that would always go on that people didn't know about. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like it's crazy. It's
like
nuts.
You think like people had corked bats?
Yep, right.
Like know what I mean? Like so, and then I think like even then they had like that whole dead ball era where like the ball didn't really have any pop on it, so they hitting like you had to have some power to hit the ball out the park.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And now how the baseball is made and everything, they pulled back on it a little bit, but like you don't have to really put as much on it as you used to. So I think that's what the pitchers are like. Well, fuck it. If y'all gonna make it easier for them to make contact and the ball to hit out the park, well then fucking I'm gonna do what I have to do to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean I don't necessarily blame them if it's not out of the rules, then like find whatever you can find. I wonder what it is though. Like I really want to know. I'm sure it'll come out at some point. But
I forget. It was some type of ban. It's some type of substance, and it's not necessarily banned, but it's just like kind of. So I think it'll be figured out. But
If I had to put money on it, I'd say if they figure out what it is, they'd get rid of it or put it on that ban list because, that's just they want tickets to go up. They don't want, people to get bored of it. So that's interesting, bro. Shit.
Figured I brought that up. Little MLB shout out.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I love watching playoff baseball. That's a good time for me. But I don't really watch baseball in the regular season on TV. I love going to games. That's always fun.
Yeah, a game is fun.
Yeah,
you can't do it. I'll fall asleep.
Me too, bro. It's just too slow for me. I love playing baseball too. It's been forever, but like playing baseball is so fun. Just get a group of people together and like that's a good time, man. I don't even think I have a mitt anymore, man. I miss playing catch. That's that's like everyone's first thing growing up. I feel like you get a mitt and you throw outside with people. This man, And then I remember like for me, as soon as it went from coach pitch to kid pitch, I was like, fuck this shit, man. I'm out of here. I'm not getting hit by these damn balls, bro. Like, it scared the shit out of me. These kids were whipping them, man.
I used to pitch when I played. Baseball was probably like the first sport that I picked up. And I used to pitch and like.
Did you hit anyone?
No, I never hit anybody. But like I always got questioned about my age because I was so much taller than everybody.
Yeah.
So, but no, I never hit anybody though.
Yeah, that used to scare me, bro. People were wild. And like then it got to the point where every time I got up, I was more worried about getting hit than I was, trying to hit the ball. So I was like, this is not for me. I'm gonna bow out. Fuck that. Oh man.
That's funny.
Yes, sir. It's interesting. Back to the NBA real quick. Do you think we might as well go through so after game 7 today, do you think because for me, it's like if the Hawks make it, I think Bucks are going to the finals, but Philly will give them a good series. And that's one that like, I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, I think if it's the Hawks, it's going to be tough. They don't really have a matchup for Giannis.
No, they're a small team.
I mean, you got Capella and they got John Collins. I just they don't have it like any real defensive guys like that. I mean, and Drew, they're gonna put Drew Holiday on Trey.
You got to,
and Drew is gonna get into Trey, so he's gonna have a little bit more of a tougher time. So I don't think they have enough.
Yeah, I don't really either. It's and then do you think so? And then on the other side, do you think Clippers are gonna win still? Is that your prediction?
I'm gonna stick with it. I mean, as long as they're in the playoffs, I'm gonna stick with my prediction. I'm not gonna sway from it. I mean, the game was tight today.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And that was with the Suns having a layoff and the Clippers having a game 7 where Terrence Mann went nuts. Like went 20 in the quarter.
Yeah. That was awesome.
He really because I thought they were done for. I thought it was done from not game 7, but game 6. I thought it was going to a game 7, but he stepped up. So I think they'll find a way. It'll just be interesting once Chris and Kawhi kind of come back into the fold.
Yep, for sure. It's what I love, like, is like at this point in it, I have no idea who's gonna win, and that's what I love. Like,
right?
It's like it's cool. Like, it's just all gonna be good games from here on out because no one's like head over heels better than everyone else. So I love that. That's gonna be awesome to kind of figure.
I mean,
out.
I think the East. Outside of like the Clippers, I think that if the Clippers are fully loaded, I feel like they're probably the more
I would agree
dominant team that can beat it. But I feel like it's really in the East. Like it'd be on the East teams. If the Clippers don't make it, I feel like it's going to be on the East teams to kind of win it just because of what they have.
Yeah, I would agree. God, I want the Suns though. That'd be so cool to see.
That would be dope.
They just play so like. They play great team basketball, man. They move the ball really well. And then just like one role player, it seems like every game steps up. Like today it was Bridges. Like he was just hitting great shots, dunking on people. Like he just looked great, man. Like it's cool to watch. And like we talked about before, Jay Crowder is just like fills in as that like third, fourth man option and just like.
And I think people can really sleep on the fact of like how well anywhere he goes, they have a deep playoff run. He always takes on the toughest matchup, and he does his job, bro.
Yeah. I saw the picture of him on, like, his jersey now, his jersey from the Heat and from the Celtics, and it was like, this dude always shows up on, like, teams that have made it, like, farther than anyone expected or something like that, or, like, teams that really overachieved, and I'm like, yeah, that's facts, bro. Yeah.
Seriously.
It's It's crazy. All right, well, we're getting closer to football, man. I know the schedules are out and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's gonna be a cool week 1. Today, I guess we can finish up in the AFC. So we got what? The Chiefs, the Broncos, the Raiders, and
The Chargers.
Chargers. Yeah. A lot of young talent actually in this division.
It is.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the big dogs.
All right. The Chiefs. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, for me, it's like they did what they needed to do in the draft. You got to get another receiver in the offseason to kind of replace who left. Was it Sammy Watkins that left?
Yeah, Watkins left.
Yeah. But
do they need another receiver?
Nah, that's the thing. That's like they're such a well-oiled machine. It's just like a lot of these parts are interchangeable, man. It's like it's again going to kind of be like their league to lose, man. Like they should have Super Bowl aspirations again. They kind of beefed their line back up, which is good.
Great.
I don't know who they picked up defensively, but
well, they picked up Jerron Reed on the line, and that's really about it. I mean, the biggest thing I think for them was just getting the offensive line, back to where picking up Thuney, Austin Blythe, Orlando Brown, like those. That's going to solidify that offensive line. Yeah, so it's definitely needed. Yeah, I mean, because you lose Sammy Watkins, but they still have McCall Hartman, right?
Yeah, they have Pringle, I think.
They got Pringle. You got Cheetah. You got Kelsey. Like, what else do you need?
Well, I think the question now is like with Travis Kelce, like kind of he's still up there, but like he's not getting better. I wouldn't say like he's at that age where it's like I think he's gonna either plateau or start to slowly decline. Like I wonder if their offense, like, because I feel like it can't be much better than it's been the last 2 seasons. So I wonder if it'll be. I don't know. It's very interesting. Like because when Patrick Mahomes bursted on the scene, that was like the best year of their offense. But then the next year when they won the Super Bowl, it seemed like they kind of chilled out a little bit in the regular season and then kind of turned it back on in the postseason. So I don't know. I'm gonna give them like 13 wins this year and like maybe lose a little less or more than they have, and like people are probably gonna like write them off and then they'll probably get right back to it in the playoffs. That's my expectation.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is gonna be like their secondary because they got. I mean, I think Tampa Bay kind of really exposed them.
Yeah, it would have been cool if they would have won after 2 big, veteran defensive free agents to kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, because they lost Breeland.
Yeah,
they lost Rashawn Breeland.
They need like a new defensive culture, man. Like it's like kind of like their game is.
Honey Badger is just
I mean, he's good, but I don't know if
he doesn't bring enough, and so hopefully, I mean, they picked up a kid, the kid from Michigan, Lavert Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows if he'll
a linebacker? What is he?
No, he's a corner.
Okay.
So like all Big Ten and stuff like that. So he's really solid. I mean, it's just really gonna depend upon. I really just gotta feel like it's gonna come down to their secondary. If their secondary and linebackers can make some improvements or at least make a better impact than they did last year, I think they'll be solid. I put them at 14 wins.
Okay. Yeah.
So
it's again, there's just not that much that's changed. Hopefully just that line being solidified will
we'll find out week 1.
Yeah.
We'll find out week 1.
Who are they playing week 1?
The Browns.
Okay, that's gonna be a good game. Cool.
So,
we were saying that we're like the Browns have 2 really tough first games, and like they could very well end up start 0-2. But
like week 1, we'll find out a lot about both teams, both the Browns and the Chiefs.
Yeah, I expect them to just pick up right where they've left off, man. Again, like they're just such a well-oiled machine. They have like their formula down. Like you don't, fix what's not broken, man. Like it's like it was the only thing I think that really kept them from being competitive in that Super Bowl, if not winning it, was the fact that their offensive line was so depleted. Like so if they got that figured out, no one has proven that they can beat them. We might as well use that transition to go to the Raiders though, because like. This team, man, is so weird. Like they've had games where they beat the Chiefs, or they get so close to beating the Chiefs, and you look at them like, wow, like you guys are like they beat the Saints last year, I think. Like, and it's just like you guys, you have like some good makeup, but like they just don't put it together all the time.
Yeah, they struggle. It's but I like the moves that they made though.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like you picked up Yannick Njoku.
Mm-hmm.
They picked up Nick Martin on the offensive line. They picked up John
Lionel
Brown
helped.
as a receiver. So they mix him in with Henry Ruggs. So you got two speedy guys. They
Still
got
got
Kenyon
Waller.
Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got Waller. They picked up Kenyon Drake. So you match him up. Who's the receiver that
Jacobs.
they with Jacobs. So they got some. They made some really. They picked up Carl Joseph, Rasul Douglas. Like I think they made the right moves that they needed to. They addressed some of the stuff that they had on the defensive side. And then offensively, I think just getting the line and then picking up some weapons on offense to help their why am I drawing play Derek Carr?
I was about to say, I think that dude's the X factor, honestly. Like it's like
that's it. Literally.
He's got to go back to like 2 or 3 seasons ago when he was kind of in the running there for MVP for a little bit. He's got to be playing like that again because he's so inconsistent, man. Like you don't know what you're going to get from him week to week. It's weird.
Yeah. So I got him at 10.
Okay.
I got him at 10 wins.
I mean, I thought they were on their way to that last season, and they kind of just fell off at the end there, you know? Like, it was like they started off great. Like, people were saying, like, this is going to be one of those teams that's, like, such a good team, but they're overshadowed by a powerhouse in their division, and they're not going to make it far in the playoffs because of that. And then they just end up falling apart. So, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. I'm gonna give him 8. That's where I've got him at, and we'll see. We'll see how that ends up because I think it's a pretty tough division, to be honest with you, especially with all these other young, teams kind of emerging. So
because it's a young gun out there in LA.
He's great, man. He's really good. Fucking what's his name?
Herbert.
Justin Herbert. Yeah, he's
nice, and I mean I like the pickup that they made with Rashawn Slater to address some of that offensive line troubles that they were having. They picked up Corey Linsley, so that's out of center. They picked up Jared Cook. They just really addressed some of their offensive stuff. The only thing is that I feel like they lost some weapons though. Like they lost some things. Like they lost who is it? Is it Corey Hayward or Casey Hayward, something like that. They lost him. Hunter Henry.
Yeah, they lost Hunter Henry. That's big, man. And I don't know if they still have like Eckler or like who's running the ball for them this year, but like
I forget.
That needs to be addressed too, man. Like Malcolm Gordon had a good season for him like 2 years ago, and since then they haven't really been able to rely on the run like they used to. And like that's key, man. That's very key. I like Eckler, but he's more one of those like hybrid like speed, receiver back.
Exactly. Exactly.
Someone that can run up and down the holes, man, and kind of move the chains like that. That's
So I mean, still got it'll be. I think they have to find ways to get some of like their speedier guys, maybe like kind of how KC kind of uses Cheetah, and they just got to find a way to kind of move them around.
Yeah.
The good thing is that they still got Keenan Allen, right? Like he's still there.
Really
he's a dog ass receiver. So you got someone that he's had that built in relationship with. It'll be
and then they
interesting to see how they try to fit in Jared Cook to kind of replace Hunter Henry to see how that matchup works out though.
Yeah. He's a little old, but if he can just, be formidable, that'll be all right. I know they picked up a receiver. I forget what school he's from. Josh Palmer, he's a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Up in like the 3rd
Tennessee.
round. Okay, so maybe that'll be good for him. They other than that, they really prioritized D in that draft, though. I mean, they took like 2 linebackers, a safety. They took Asante Samuel's son, I'm pretty sure, as a corner. He was like their second pick or second round pick. Yeah, Asante Samuel Jr.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they needed to, but I mean, the biggest thing I think with them is that they addressed their offensive line. You got to protect your biggest asset, right?
Yeah, for sure. It'll be really cool to see because Keenan Allen's not old, and Herbert's coming into his own. So like they have a very good passing attack. It's maybe if Jared Cook can hold on to the ball for him and not fucking fumble
that part,
that'd help. Like how you ruined the Saints fucking last game of the season. That was cool. Dude, man. Come on.
You're not bitter. You're not bitter or anything.
Nah, man. It's all good.
Bitter at all.
Jared, it's nothing personal. It's just, you know how it goes.
So how many you giving them? How many
I wonder
games they
how many
got?
they had last year because I don't even remember.
Last year, the Chargers had 7.
Okay. So if the Chiefs have, I'm saying 13, and the Raiders have 10. No, I said the Raiders would have 8.
You said 8.
Then I'm gonna say the Chargers are gonna be at like, I don't know if they're gonna move much, man. I'd give them 8 wins, maybe like 8, 9 wins at the most. I don't think, and that's it could be different if they were in a different division, with not as
Yeah.
much. But I just think the Chiefs are head over heels better, and I think the Raiders, assuming Carr is playing okay, is going to be better, like just like easily better, I should say. Not like they're going to be, blowing them out when they play, but like I just would assume that the Raiders are a better team. So that right there, I don't even think they're the top. I don't even think they're the second best team in the division. So it's going to be hard. What about you?
Yeah. No, I'm in the same boat as you. I said 7. I think they'll probably stay at that same amount just because I don't know if there's just enough there.
Yeah, I don't know if they they make good moves, but they didn't make like a game changing
right.
someone that's going to come in and change life here.
Yeah, and I think the losses that they had kind of outweigh some of the gains that they picked up. Like losing Hunter Henry is big.
That is big, man. He's a very good
big loss
guy, dude. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So hopefully they can figure something out. But like they like losing Hayward. Dan Finley on the line, Rashawn Jenkins as a safety. Like they lost some really key players, so we'll see. But yeah, it's a 7.
Okay, cool. All right, well let's head out to Denver. It's gonna be a very interesting season because they got Teddy Bridgewater out there now, right?
Eddie B.
Yeah, like
Teddy B.
Like who knows how that's gonna work? He didn't look bad. We've talked about this before in other episodes. Like he looked all right last season. There's a lot of injuries and it was kind of hard. That team wasn't very good. They lost McCaffrey for the whole season. He's a composed quarterback. Hopefully, if they can surround him with the right pieces, he can execute. I don't think he's elite, but he might get the job done if the D plays really well.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with him is just like, last year you lose your best weapon in Christian McCaffrey, right? But I think he's an upgrade from Drew Lock.
Yep.
Right. And then, Denver gets another year with Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay type of like duo matchup. But then they got some dog ass receivers, bro. Like you got Jerry Jeudy, you got KJ Hamler.
Yeah.
Like so they got some really, really good talent there. They got Cortland Sutton. You said what?
They picked up Patrick Surtain too, really early in.
Right, you picked up Surtain in the first round.
Yeah.
You picked up Kyle Fuller, Cameron Finlings, Ronald Darby. Like, so they picked up some really nice things. The defense was already solid, and they got even better. Right, so now I think it's
man. Like it's like because if you look at their draft, man, other than they picked a running back their second round, but their first, third. 2/3 and 2/5. Everything else was defense. They picked a corner, a linebacker, 2 linebackers, and 2 safeties. So it's like they're always just prioritizing that. And I can't blame them for that, man. Like if you have a good defense alone, that's enough to give you, a pretty decent amount of points. Like because you're gonna get good field position, you're gonna shut teams down. Like it's gonna, you can get some momentum swinging plays. So it's just gonna come down to like can Denver like move the chains and like score enough to like let the defense hold down the opposing team. Like, it's I don't see them being an elite offense, but they're good.
They're solid and they got pieces. Like they really do. They have pieces. It's just everything's gonna be predicated on the offense.
It will. I like to see because like I said, I don't think Teddy's really elite. I think he's a good quarterback. Like I like him, but like it'll be interesting. Like Jerry Jeudy, like how good can he be at like such a dependent position like that? Like if Bridgewater's not getting him the ball, like he's going to really have to get him some touches this year to really, like try to see if we can, break him out.
And Hambler's kind of in that same boat as Cheetah, right? Like they're short, diminutive, but super fast guys. So yeah, they have pieces. They just got to figure it out.
Yeah, they will. I think like that D alone, like I said, like that gives me confidence in them. Granted, this whole division is so tough. They didn't play good last year, did they? They only
They
had like
won like 5 games.
4 or 5. It's I don't know if like, and then running back wise, they took one in the second round, but like I don't know if like Philip Lindsay's still like there. I don't really know what's going on over there.
Yeah, even Melvin Gordon hasn't been really producing.
Hey, since
So
took that year
so
off.
how many you think they get?
I think they'll do a little better than they did last season. So I'm giving like 6 wins. I don't see them having 7. 7 would be like the absolute ceiling in my opinion for them.
I said 7.
Yeah, that's like the best case scenario. It's just again so hard at the division. Things could be different if they were somewhere else.
Yeah, I just figure Von Miller should be back and completely healthy. They added the pieces to their defense, so now it's just making sure Bridgewater can. That's the thing I feel about with Bridgewater compared to Drew Lock is Bridgewater's not going to hurt you. He's not going to hurt you in a situation where Drew Lock would. And like you said, it's just now about him making sure he can get the ball to Jerry Jeudy and get into Hamler in those where they need it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So now that we have the AFC wrapped up, do you think for sure it's Kansas City? It's like their division or their conference to lose?
For me, I think if there's 3 teams that can, I think it's Kansas City. I think Browns
and the Browns. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
The Browns and the Ravens. It's like I told you, I think the Ravens are my sleeper.
Yeah, I don't blame you there, man. Another tough division, but like they're a good team. So, and that team's gonna go as Lamar goes if he can get back to how he was playing. Then
they added pieces. They added pieces around him to now he just has to deliver, right? And I feel like I can trust Lamar to do that. So,
yeah, looking back at it right now, one of the most because obviously that division with the Ravens and the Steelers and the Browns is going to be like such a toss-up, but like I think the same goes with the AFC East. Like I have no idea what's about to happen out there. Like obviously it seems like the Patriots are about to reemerge, but the Dolphins had a breakout year, and obviously the Bills are a great team. So it's like
But did you hear about what was going on with Tua during minicamp?
No,
he had like a day where he threw like 3-4 different picks.
Wow.
I know they were saying that like sometimes they have a situation where like the defense is set up to kind of like do those things, but like the offensive guy still wants him to like run a play, and he probably knows that like he probably should switch into another play, but they want to run a play to see what he does. Yeah. So it may have been one of those situations, but I don't know. Yeah, we got to see if Tua can take that next step.
Yeah, I don't know. He's going to have to because I didn't think he played bad last year, but he didn't like convince me that he's going to be.
He didn't play good either. It was just very even keel type of thing.
Honestly, Fitzpatrick was playing pretty good. I was surprised that they were like 4-1 or whatever, and they pulled him. It was off a win. It was very interesting. Like that was a weird situation there. Now, where's he? Is he in Washington now?
Yeah.
He's played on like 20 different teams, bro. That guy's crazy.
Yeah, and then the Patriots name, I mean, they pretty much said Cam gonna be their starting guy, even though I think they said he did something to his hand, but they said he's a starting guy for right now. So how long do you think it will last? Do you think it'll go the whole year that Cam is gonna be the starting quarterback, or do you think at some point they'll bring in the rookie?
That's just weird, and we talked about it when we analyzed the division. Like we saw him play pretty well at the beginning of last season, and then stuff like COVID and other things. Not to like he looked like a different guy. So if he's healthy, if there's no COVID, like in the rest of the team is better this year than it was last year. It's really his position to lose, man. Like he's in a lot better of a situation this year. Like so, as long as he's healthy, like it's like there's really no excuse. And if he doesn't perform, like I have no issue with them putting Mac Jones in. I don't know if I can give you like a week that I feel like that'll happen though, because this team is a completely different team than it was last year.
It is,
very
much. It is. I think Cam should be straight unless he gets injured, which it wouldn't be a surprise just because of the way that Cam plays, right? So I think he'll play, but I think if he gets injured and Mac Jones comes in, I don't think he'll get that job back.
Yeah, I don't say that. Yeah, I'd agree with you there. Like it's going to be off to the races with him to see what they can do. But I was never really a Patriots fan before, but I'm excited to see what they do with like this rejuvenated team, you know, because even the players they had under contract last year, they had a lot of key players that just sat out or were injured, you know. So it's even their, you know, players that they didn't pick up or returning that's going to really solidify that. So we'll see. It's going to be a great year, man. Like there's just so much like competition, so many new faces and new
It is.
places, a lot of good rookies. You know, it's like I have obviously this year that the stadiums are going to be more packed. It's going to be another game. That's crazy. That's going to be weird.
It is. It is. So if you had, so let's say we separate the conferences, who would you say would be like the MVP for the AFC next year? Is it like just Patrick Mahomes and nobody else?
I mean, like you always kind of want to just throw him in there, but if I see, that's what's weird too is like there's like the MVP and then there's the offensive player of the year, right? And usually a quarterback gets MVP and like, you know, a skill position player will win offensive player of the year. That's kind of how they do it. So it's like, with that being said, I'm going to think it's a quarterback, but if I had to pick right now, I'm going to say Josh Allen is going to be like, it's going to
be like an AFC MVP.
Yeah. If they gave that, which they don't, but like that's
no,
I'm thinking they're going to take like a step. He's going to take another step forward. I'm feeling that team is still young, man. It's what did you think about the Cole Beasley thing? Did you hear about that?
What's the Cole Beasley thing? What happened?
So he doesn't want to get vaccinated. Like he just won't do it. And like he got like huge backlash for saying on Twitter. He didn't really say it disrespectful. He just said like, you know, this is my life and I choose not to get vaccinated and stuff like that. And now like the NFL Players Association is trying to, I don't know if they're trying to force him to get vaccinated or tell him he can't play if he doesn't get vaccinated. I'm gonna have to look it up again, but you're gonna have to look into it. It's a very weird
I'm reading
thing.
It now.
Yeah, he says he'd rather retire than get COVID-19 vaccine. All right, I think that's a little much, but I don't know. I see both sides of it. Like I understand. I believe in science, and like I think that I don't see any issue with it. Like it's science. Like it's the vaccine. Like that's, you know, if scientists are saying we should get it, I don't know who I am to say that there's anything wrong with it. But on the flip side, I do understand people that are skeptical of getting the vaccine. Like I see it both ways, and it's his life, bro. Like if you're not going to convince this dude to get like whatever the vaccines you get when you're an infant or get the flu shot every year, like I don't know. Like granted, this is a pandemic and times are really sensitive, so I see both sides.
Yeah, I think especially what it is with athletes is you got to be super cautious about like what it is that you put in your body because you don't know how your body's going to react to it, and they're very heightened about like those type of things. But it's for the NFL and the NFL Players Association, they have to figure out how they're going to manage that, right? Because it's like, is he putting other people at risk or whatever? So I would say if I'm the NFL and I'm handling that situation, I'm like, okay, fine. If you don't want to get the vaccine, that's fine, but you're going to be in certain protocols that you're going to be restricted on things that you'll be able to. If not, you're going to go into safety. You're going to go into health and safety protocols and miss games if need be. Like that's how I would handle it. Like fine, you don't have to get the vaccine, but you can't. You know how they were doing with like the NBA play. Like you can't go out into this. You can't do that. You can't. Like that's how I would handle it, just so that way I can ensure safety. Like if you want to do this, then you're going to be prison to do this then.
For sure. And I think that's actually how they're saying they're going to handle it. And that's like where he's getting pissed off. But like, I totally agree with you. Like that would make sense. You know, it's the thing is this, like if everyone else is vaccinated, it's really not an issue because he's not going to really put anyone at risk. But it's like, if he sets that precedent where if everyone did that, it would be a huge problem. You know what I mean? Or if we had like a bunch of players that weren't getting vaccinated. So
people have to make sure they understand too, like the vaccine does not prevent you from getting COVID. You can still catch it. It's just the symptoms and everything from it are not as harsh, right? So he can still put other people at risk. Let's say he going out about or whatever, because you got like those guys are in close confines. They taking showers and everything. Yep. Like so, you in close confines. Like you can definitely have like an infection, like one of those super spreader things that happen to the whole team.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to be cautious about it. But it'll be interesting to see what exactly happens with the NFL and how they handle it, though. But
Yeah, for sure. I see it both ways, man. Like, I get it's his right, but it's like at this point, like you just said, you're in such close quarters with all these other people. Like, they can't really risk you jeopardizing the rest of the team. And then, like, if you're not going to get it, then like you just said, I think he should be a good sport about like knowing, like, well, then during season, like when we're traveling and stuff, they're not going to let me like out of the hotel. I'm going to have to, chill, and I can't go do anything crazy.
Right.
So it's nuts.
All right. So we got to talk about some boxing stuff.
Yeah. Let's do it.
In this stare down.
Oh my God.
This 5-minute stare down. Gee.
Did you like watch any of the press conference or anything like that? Or did you?
No, I didn't watch the press conference, but I heard it was just the whole entire thing was just super awkward and it was just weird.
I don't know what's going on with Deontay, man. Like, he didn't answer any questions. He just had his overhead headphones on the whole time, and he just wouldn't answer anything. So for me, first of all, it's like, why are you there? What do you like? If you're not gonna like just to show yourself, I don't understand what you're doing. But it kind of makes sense when you look at it, because I think he knows like he's gonna have to answer for all these ridiculous things that he claimed, about the last fight. That's what everyone's gonna ask him, and I don't think he even.
Probably doesn't.
There's no tangible thing he can really say to like, it's like, well, how's he going to dig himself out of that? So maybe that's the smartest thing he can do. But that stare down was pretty crazy.
Wasn't like, I remember I think it was a woman that came up there and she was like, okay, can we have you guys like turn and face the cameras, and if you want to, maybe like it just got so awkward, bro.
Mm-hmm. It did. Gypsy King, though, he's just so calm, cool, and collected. He's just like, he was answering questions afterwards and just like, he's not even that angry. It doesn't seem like at all, the excuses and stuff like that. He made some good points. He's like, I think when you're heavyweight champ for a really long time and you've beaten everyone by knockout and then you get tuned up like that, your mind's naturally going to go to like, well, I shouldn't have lost. Like, this is ridiculous, like type thing. You know what I mean? It's like a defense mechanism for him. I just don't see, I don't know. Deontay's got a new trainer. Looks like he's doing some new stuff. They're working on his foot movement and having him like roll under hooks and, throw combinations and stuff like that. I think that's a hard thing to learn and then execute in a boxing match against one of the greatest boxers. Like, that's here right now.
That's my thing that I'm nervous about is that's not what you do.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. And don't try to go in there and try to outbox Tyson Fury, because you're gonna lose.
Yeah,
like you go in there head hunting, right? So it's okay if you want to go in there and try to get a couple of combinations, but don't try to go in there and outbox him. Like that's not, you're not gonna win that way.
No,
you need to go in there and you need to go head hunting.
Exactly, and like he's got to figure out a way to like implement that, but also punish Fury with, he's got to have some kind of short game as far as like when Fury penetrates, and he's coming off his back foot, he just got annihilated as soon as Fury got on the inside, so it's like he's going to have to find something that can kind of ward him off. But then, like you just said, for the most part, you need to do what you do and that's stay at a distance and like wait for that opening and, try to take it.
And then Fury said he's about to be at 300.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. It's
like, bro, I hope you've been doing your core work and your leg, like doing some leg workouts, because that's a lot of weight you're gonna have to get, like, try to ward off you, bro. And that's what happened last time. He was putting that weight on him, wearing them down, and he got clapped.
Definitely. However, I don't know if like the weight's gonna slow Fury down and give Wilder a better shot to land a clean punch on him. Like, I think Fury's convinced like that Wilder can't hurt him. Granted, he put him down. Like, he just, I think Fury thinks I took his best shot and like got back up. So it's like, it's interesting. I wonder if this is going to be a classic case of like what happened to Mike Tyson, what happened to George Foreman. It's like they were just mowing through dudes, and then the first time they got clapped, like it was like that aura of invincibility was gone, and people just started going after him. So I mean, I don't know.
You and I both mentioned this about the fact that like we would have much rather have seen him get a fight, right? Get a fight or two under your belt. Let's see where things are at, and then take on that. Yeah, take on that fight, right? Like go against who is it? Ruiz. Like, let's see that. You know what I mean? Like, let's see where you're at with that competition. That's still kind of like championship level type of competition before you take on Fury again. Exactly. But I mean, they had a contract in place, so I get it. But I would have wanted him to wait.
Yeah, Ruiz would have been interesting because he's got that insane boxing ability. Throws good combinations. He has good hand speed. counter punching, but he's not 7 foot and
Right.
so if he can't, it would have been interesting to see like what he could have done with Ruiz, who's an incredible boxer, just doesn't have the physical attributes as Tyson.
Right.
So
Yeah.
who knows, man? And then Joshua's, I think, gonna fight this. His name is Usyk. He's coming up from cruiserweight. He's a really good fighter, but like the dude's small and like I don't know, like he's been fighting. He's one of those guys that's came up from cruiserweight, and his first couple fights at heavyweight have been guys that are like barely heavyweight. Like 210, 220. Like Anthony Joshua's like 250, 260. Like that's a completely different human being.
Yeah,
so.
that is.
That's such a weird thing, man, that the heavyweight's just like 200 plus is heavyweight. Like, you think they'd almost break that up to like a super heavyweight or something like that. Because you can have dudes like Wilder was 215 for their last fight, and Fury was like 260. Like, that's like 4 or 5 weight classes, bro. Like, that's insane.
It is. What you think about Charlo?
Did he fight?
Did you see him? Yeah, he had a fight against Juan Montel.
Did he win?
Yeah, he won by unanimous decision.
I was gonna say he's a great boxer, bro. I didn't even know he had a fight coming up. I need to see him now go against Canelo or something like that, man.
Something has to happen
for sure.
Something definitely has to happen. I'm excited. Tank has a fight coming up soon.
He does. There's a couple big fights coming up, man. It'll and then I think Lomachenko's about to fight again. And
is he?
Lopez, both of them have fights coming up. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, we need to get this action going, bro. Like, I'm tired of seeing Jake Paul and I'm tired of seeing Lamar Odom and Aaron Carter shit. Like, nobody want to see that, dog. I want to see some real boxing matches, bro.
I wonder where Bud's at, bro. I haven't heard anything about Terrence Crawford fighting. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about him either. But wait, he was supposed to be fighting Manny, but they changed that and it ended up being
Spence.
Spence.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Because Crawford hasn't fought since December. I'd assume by now they have to have him at least in talks with someone. But he needs to stay active. All these guys, like we always say,
Danny Garcia hasn't fought in a minute.
Oh man, I don't know if Mikey Garcia has either. All those or Ryan. I mean Ryan Garcia, he fought against Luke Campbell a while back when we were talking in the fall, but I don't know. Yeah,
I don't think so.
Come on, man. Like we're saying, I want let's get these guys 2-3 fights a year. Like that's that's plenty of time.
Elite, right? That give us enough action.
Training camp,
exactly.
You got the time. But this is a good little momentum swing we got here with Vasily and then Tiafermo, and then like you said, Tank's about to fight again. So they gotta keep this going, man, into the summer now and get some good summer fights going, and then. I don't know though. I think it's July 24th. I don't think I'll buy it. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Fury and Wilder because I can't count Wilder out. Like he's always got that chance to just lay a haymaker on someone and knock him out. So
I may buy it and just have it some friends over because I do want to watch that fight. Bro.
Yeah,
I do. I
think if it's like $50, that'd be worth it. But I'm not paying $100. That's not going to happen. So
yeah,
I don't know.
You got that Arizona money. So
I got no money right now, man. It's expensive out here. Man. It's hard out in these streets. And
if you don't,
I thought, hey, moving out of Michigan, I was so excited to get out of the snow. I was like, car problems are done. I didn't realize cars break down in 110 plus degree weather too, because I've already had to get my car in the shop because my battery was fried. And it's like, they're like, these batteries go real quick here in Arizona because it's so fucking hot. It just drains all the fluids out of them. And I was like, fuck, man, this shit's crazy. You gotta
find a cover for it. You gotta find you got a port. You got a car port.
I do, but I need to get one of those reflector things on my windshield when I leave. My car's all black in the interior too, so it's just like a sauna when I get in there. Yeah. I bet you never.
Quick thing.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I bet you've never, because this has never happened to me. I've never used an automatic starter to start my car for the air conditioning. It's always been because it's been snowing out and just started for heat. So it's like that's how people do it out here, man.
I bet you have to. Shit.
Yeah.
So real quick, I guess Muhammad Ali's grandson is making his pro debut on August 14th.
Really? Is that Layla's son or one of his son's sons?
Let me see. I don't know if it's one of Layla's. Nah, I don't know. It doesn't say.
Nico Ali Washington.
Yeah, he's a son of is one of his other daughters.
Interesting. He's really light skinned. Wow. He does not look like
I
him.
mean,
That's
well, I mean,
Have you seen
Muhammad
him?
Ali was pretty light himself. No, I haven't seen the picture.
No, but that's not what I would have expected right there. That dude's like white. I wonder how he's gonna be, man. I wonder if he's gonna try to emulate like that type of footwork and quickness, or if he's gonna be like a completely. It'd be weird if he came in and he was like a completely different style and was just like a slugger. Like,
Yeah,
that'd be really
yeah.
interesting.
What is his weight? What they say his weight was? Like, what weight class is he at? He looks like a pretty.
Let's take a look.
He's gonna be a welter.
Nico Ali. He's promoted by Bob Arum, so that's pretty big. He's fighting on the undercard between two guys I don't know. What is he? I don't know. I'm gonna look him up on a boxing rec. Nico Ali.
But that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That's really interesting. Yeah, pro boxing debut. I don't. He looks like lighter though. I don't think he's like a heavyweight or anything like that.
No, he don't. He look like maybe like a
something, man. Like you just said,
like a welterweight or something like that. Yeah, he don't look too big.
Yeah, interesting. Well, yeah. Hopefully we can get these good fights continuing to roll, man. And
we need them.
Get away from these stupid exhibitions, like you said, because we're all tired of them. So, shit.
Right. So, last thing for you. Are you ready for the Olympics?
I have not really kept up with what's happening other than swimming. I saw that Ryan Lochte didn't make it, which was really interesting. But I'm gonna watch. I love watching it. Huh?
He's 36, bro.
I know, but it's just crazy. He was like one of the best in America for a really long time. So it's just weird to see him not, qualify.
Age kick up, you know what I mean?
I love the Summer Olympics, man. Like I'm not like the biggest fan of the Winter Games. Like they're cool, but like track and field.
The Summer Olympics is where it's at.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
It's definitely where it's at. I'll be interested to see who makes the men's USA basketball team, because it's been a lot of people like pulling out and stuff like that, especially with these injuries and everything. So
yeah, I wonder when they'll announce that. Do they usually announce that after the season ends? I don't know,
bro. Like literally, once the finals is done, like the Olympic opening games is like starting.
That's so interesting. Well, that's weird because like some players would have to be like contingent on if like they make it that far. You know what I mean? Like how can Book or Kawhi or Paul George or some of those dudes like commit?
Yeah, like some of them already, because I know they said Dame committed, Book committed, Draymond committed. I'm not sure if anybody else. I don't know if like Brad Beal or anybody else kind of committed or anything like that. But
I wonder if he's going to play for Slovenia.
He did. He already played in the qualifier. He already started playing in like a qualifier. He dropped a triple-double.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. He had like 10 points and 14 assists or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting, bro. Track and field are my favorite things to watch. Like just growing up watching and stuff like that. Like that was awesome. It's
yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever see anything like that again, man. I don't know who like the new Olympic runners are. I know Justin Gatlin was pretty good for a little bit for the United States.
Gatlin's nice. Yeah. Right now it's like Justin Coleman, Noah Lyles, like those guys are pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
And on the women's side, you got Sha'Carri Richardson, who, I think she ran like a 10.84, and she let up at like 30 meters to go. Like she kind of just let up and started pointing at the time. Like I'm out here killing these chicks, bro. Wow. And she didn't even have a good start.
Dang, man, that's cool to see. Those are my favorite runners, actually. The ones that don't like. Because Usain Bolt was that same way. Like he would not like be the first, and then he just started pumping his fucking legs, and it was like, holy shit, man!
Eating them, bro.
Yeah, man.
Eating them.
Why is Jamaica so good, man? Like they had that period where it was like fucking Bolt, Johan Blake, Asafa Powell. They had like all the best fucking track stars. It was crazy. It's like they're just bred to do that, man. Like
yeah, even on the women, the last time an American woman won the gold medal in the 100-meter?
No.
Gail Devers in like 84.
Jesus. That's a long time. That's almost
a long ass time,
man.
Bro.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Long ass time.
So this girl you're talking about, she's American?
Yeah, so she has the second fastest time behind Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price for Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting because Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price gets out of the blocks like a fucking bullet, bro. Mm-hmm. But Sha'Carri Richardson has this like track down speed where once she hits that top end and she lets her head up, it's So she just can't let her get too far away. He'll see.
Oh man, I love the 100 meter. It's so quick, but it's just so intense, and it's just like
my favorite is the 4x1 and a 4x4.
Definitely. Which is the one? Or do both of those? Which I'm trying to think. Like, there's the one where you got 4 different people and they're handing the baton to each other. 1500.
Yeah. So the 4x1 is one lap around. But in each member of the 4x1 runs 100 meters.
Okay, gotcha.
So handoffs are super important. You got to get a really good start. And that's where you have a lot of guys like either handoffs will be messed up on, you're out of the exchange zone, a bunch of shit will happen. So that's why I love the 4x1, just because of how much just can happen in one thing. And then the 4x4, that's like the last event that they run in the track and field.
Gotcha.
And it's you got 4 guys and they all running a lap around.
Interesting. So, yeah, those are crazy too, because it's such a different thing. Whereas you're not just sprinting the whole time. They start off running so casually like that, and then you see them slowly start to pick up their speed, as they get closer to that first lap.
And the thing is, it looks like they're casually running.
They're running. I don't mean
but that's what I'm saying. But it looks like they're casually running, and then they still have gas at the end, and you have women that are running 48, 49 splits.
Yeah.
Bro, that's insane, right? And you got men running 43, 42 split. That shit is insane.
It is, man. Fucking
and like you said, look like they're casually jogging, and it look like it's just easy to them, bro.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It really is. It's a completely different thing. I love watching the track. Basketball obviously is always really cool. It just seems like whenever the United States actually decides to take it serious, they win. But I mean, who gave them back in the day? I'm trying to think when the 2008 won and stuff like that, and the 2012 team run, was it France that was really good, or Spain that would always be up against them? I'm trying to think the other good countries.
If I'm not mistaken, 2008 did not go well. That's when they came in 6th.
2004 was that year.
Was it 2004? Okay, yeah, it was 2004. Yeah. But it's Argentina's always been really solid. Spain with Gasol and them that have been solid over the years. But now you have France coming on. You have you got Greece coming on.
Oh yeah, Giannis, man.
Giannis. Australia's been really, really solid. You got Ben Simmons and Pat Mills and stuff like they got some guys. And I think even the Nigerian team could be pretty tough this year as well. So because I'm not sure if Embiid isn't playing for them or not this year.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Couldn't Kyrie play for Australia if he wanted to? Isn't he dual citizenship?
I'm not sure, but he could if he probably wanted to, but I don't think he will.
Gotcha. Yeah,
because there's a couple guys like Karl Anthony Towns. He's Dominican, so he could play for the Dominican basketball team. Ayton could play for the Bahamas.
Yeah.
It's a lot of guys. Yeah.
I loved used to watch. I loved when. What was the team Manu was on? Argentina? Did he play for Argentina? They were so fun to watch.
Was playing Luis Scola.
Yep. Luis Scola for the Rockets. Yep. I remember that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They were nice.
And then Steve Nash, isn't he Canadian? Do they have a team?
I think he was if I'm not mistaken, I think he's Team Canada's coach.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
But they could be pretty good too. Granted, they're gonna be missing, people, they're gonna be missing Murray. That's huge for them, right? But you got Wiggins, you got Barrett.
Oh yeah.
You'll have to see. You'll really have to see what they're gonna do. So
yeah. I can't see West losing, but I'll definitely tune in. It'll be cool to watch. I love watching that shit. Yeah.
It will be. Especially just who was gonna play. I don't even know if Kevin Durant committed to it or not yet.
Yeah. I hope he does. It'd be cool to watch. I
don't even know if Curry did. I
think Bron will play, right? He's kind of done with
it. He already said he wasn't. He said he was going to focus on Space Jam. But I don't know if I don't know if Curry is. I don't know if KD is. Kawhi. I don't know if those that I know. Dang, like I said, all I know is Dang, Book, and Draymond.
Where is it at this year? The Olympics.
Tokyo.
Cool. I like when it's in international countries too. It's cool when it's here, but I like seeing them abroad. That's always really cool.
It hasn't been here since 96 when it was in Atlanta.
I'm about to say Atlanta, right?
Yeah, but it's coming. It's coming though. It's coming back. I think, and not 20 was it 2024, but I think 2028 is supposed to be here, but it's supposed to be like North America. So they'll have. So we're splitting it with Canada and Mexico.
Gotcha. That'd be really interesting. I think the coolest, and this is where Muhammad Ali won his gold medal. If you were in the Olympics and you got to play in Rome, that'd be the coolest fucking thing ever, bro. Just
Yeah,
where it started, like that's at like them and like Greece and stuff like that. Some of those like ancient cities, that'd be really cool, man.
That would be dope.
That's like a whole different thing, man. Like obviously winning for like a pro sanctioning body, like the NBA or wherever, but like to win an Olympic medal, that's just so cool for your country, you know? Like that's awesome.